And for anyone that might want to check it out in the future and say, was that program as awesome as you guys asked it was?
Years, it's gonna be like, oh my God, everyone, you have to watch this.
Yeah, we can use it for advertising. There's actually some great moments when you guys are screen sharing and showing off your projects. I definitely go back in and I look at you guys going, oh, you did so well. So let's jump into the agenda for today. I think most of you are probably in there since we're starting about 10 minutes late. Actually, I only see 2 of you in there. Get everybody in the agenda, please. And the agenda today, our hook for our lesson takes us over to Mahara. And there's another Mahara forum question that has been posted. So Bryn and Ashay, you might struggle with this one if you only have one computer. It might be good.
He's got his iPad. I'll probably just bring him do it on that instead.
Okay, perfect. That'll be awesome. And then over to the link that I posted in the agenda. It should pop you into Mahara. Remember that if you haven't been logged into Mahara and it asks you to log in here, it's easiest if you go in through the community site. It's asking me to do that right now. So make sure that you're logged in. I remember Bryn last week, we struggled with that. We could see the portfolio, but we couldn't, or the forum about the portfolio, but we couldn't actually comment.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was for you, it was only because you weren't logged in, remember?
Oh, yeah, right. Got you. Well, I hope this doesn't kill my iPad. It doesn't like stuff like this. Yes.
Okay, wait. So what is this thing we're supposed to do now?
I will guide us there once it's open. Mine was still loading, so yours must be as well.
Mine is there.
Okay. Everybody else there?
Yeah.
It's being weird about letting me log in because I can log in and then, yeah. But I'll get there, don't worry.
Okay. If you have to go through just the Mahara homepage, open up our Big Ideas shop, go into the forums, and at the very bottom, that's the most recent forum. It's called Final Portfolio Brainstorming.
Yeah. I'm there now.
Okay. So what I want you guys to do right now, today, if you took a peek at the agenda, you'll see that today's class is all about wrapping things up. So we're doing a few presentations, hopefully. We are looking at final portfolio prep and what that means. And we are signing up for exit interviews one-on-one with me happening next Wednesday. So as I mentioned, this is our last group class, but next Wednesday, we'll hopefully find a time where we can connect just for a half-hour time. You guys can walk me through your portfolio, and we can do a reflection on how this course served you and what you're walking away with. So this Mahara question that I've put in the forum is to help you start thinking about what you want to elaborate on in your final portfolio. So the first question says, share the big ideas that you are focusing on for your final portfolio. And remember that it might be just one big idea, it might be all of them. This is up to you. So think about which ones you might want to share. And it might be the same ones you reflected on last time we were in the forum, or it might be totally different. The second question is share what project you are adding onto and how you'll be doing this. So if you're choosing to add on to your bird feeder ornithology project, maybe you're going to be, extending your viewing of your birds and adding 5 different species now to your current list. Or maybe you gathered 10 mushrooms during your mushroom identification project instead of the one that I asked for. So now you're going to share with me all those other mushrooms and the species of the mushrooms and maybe some spore prints from them. So there's all sorts of different ways that you guys have this ability now to go back into something that you love doing and elaborate. So the third piece is share why you loved working on this area. What really drew you into the material, or why did you fall in love with it? Or what are you excited to maybe still discover as you have another week or so to kind of dive back into that, that area?
Hey, Sarah.
Before you, just give me one more second here. Before you dive into these questions, I did want to open up the floor that a few of you have asked for some extensions, and that is totally fine. Even though this is a group pod course, so we won't be meeting as a pod anymore, but if you want a little bit more time with that final portfolio and you want to extend that exit interview for a few weeks from today instead of next week, that's cool. Okay, so put that on the table. You guys can drop your shoulders and relax a little bit if you feel like you need that additional time, okay? Okay, questions?
Oh, I was just going to say, what do you do if you don't actually know any of that information that you want in that forum post?
Brainstorm. So this isn't, I'm not going to hold you to this and say, Ashay, you said that you thought you were wanting this project. You know, this is just an opportunity for you to put a few thoughts down. And maybe you say, you know, there was 2 or 3 projects I loved. I'm still trying to figure out which one I want to go back into.
Okay, I'll put in ideas.
Yeah, exactly. So how about we take about 5 minutes here, and I'll turn off my mic, stop blabbering at you guys, and give you time to think about some of the questions I've asked. And once you have added your thoughts into the forum, make sure you then publish your little post there so that we can kind of document all of our ideas here, and then continue on, okay? And maybe I'll get you guys to share if you feel like sharing little pieces of it. That'd be kind of fun. So about 5 minutes.
Where's the quickest place to find the big ideas for the course? You guys know?
Right at the beginning of the thing, maybe?
I can grab them and paste them in the chat box for you guys.
Yeah, that'd
the
be
quickest
great.
place, it is the course guide. That's the easiest place.
Oh,
Although they are in Sakara in a few different places, but I'll just grab them for you.
Okay, I found them here.
Oh, your things are loading faster than mine.
Strangely enough. I'll put them in the chat.
Thank you.
When we did the herbarium project, what big idea was that going into?
I have no idea. Sorry.
It's okay.
Actually, do you have a list of the big ideas?
I do. I posted it in the chat.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
My iPad is angry with me.
Uh-oh.
What? Why?
Sarah, I have a question. If we don't know which big idea is connected to the project that we want to go back into, if we go back into the project on Mahar at the top, will it say what big idea it was?
Yeah, it does, but I'm not attached to that. You know, that was my ideas of which big ideas it was connected to, but I'm curious for you guys to just come up with that on your own. So we put the list of the 4 big ideas in the chat box.
So pick which one we think correlates the best to the project?
Yeah, now you guys are the experts as you come to the end of this course. So use your own knowledge and just kind of figure out which ones you think it is. And some of them are all 4, right? Some of them are just 1. So Ashay for the herbarium and Anna for whichever project you're working on, take charge of that one. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure that was genuine.
And if you need help, put it out there, and we can jump in and give you ideas.
iPad. All right, I'm fine.
How do you spell mimic?
What was that, Anna?
How do you spell mimic?
I actually still can't hear you. One more time?
Does anyone know how to spell mimic? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, me. M-I-M-I-C?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I was right. I just wanted to make sure.
It's one of those words that if you look at it for too long, it looks like you spell it wrong.
Yeah.
So let's maybe take another minute here, wrapping up your thoughts. And if this is a good activity for you and you're really enjoying it, like, you know, carry this on after our meeting and maybe pull some of the things from your brainstorming into a Coggle mind map and, you know, start to really break down what you want to focus on for your final portfolio piece. Let's see here. So if I refresh my page, you've got Halima, who has just posted.
I just posted mine.
So Halima is, and I think I knew this already, adding to the Winter Bird Project. Awesome, Halima. and thinking of making a slide with lots of information on birds and the species in your local ecosystem. Information on birds at your feeder as well as branching out to other species. Awesome. So it's kind of limited what you get in one area, right? Or it might be 0. I know Ashay was just having a hard time even getting any birds to the bird feeder. So, so she broadened that project already by changing things up a little bit. But Halima, I think that's really great.
Hold on, there's a bird at my bird feeder right now.
Right now?
What kind of bird?
What species is it? Do you remember?
It's a house finch. It's a red-breasted house finch. There's male and female. Can you guys see?
Oh, nice. So that's one of the guys that's there fairly frequently.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, we've got a few more posts in here now. Okay, so Anna was the next one to post in. So let's see. Anna is maybe adding to the terrarium. Want to have another section called Winter in My Little Ecosystem. Oh, cool. That's a really good idea, Anna. Well, that's one I haven't thought about. I didn't know if any of you guys were going to go back in and chat about those terrariums.
It's still very much alive, so I can still take some more photos of it and everything.
Fantastic. Does anyone else have a living terrarium still?
Nope. Mine's on my windowsill still.
Oh yeah, yours is still going. All your bugs died though, didn't they?
Yeah, the ferns are slowly dying, but they're not too bad, and the moss is going for it.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I think placement is really huge. We talked about that a lot. The windowsill seems to work. Okay, so Bryn then jumped in and was thinking of adding on to the fish dissection. Adding different kinds of fish and comparing them to one another. That'll be really fascinating, Bryn. Awesome. I haven't done this project yet, but I love fishing. Sweet. So I had the opportunity, Bryn, to go. I hope Bryn's still beside you there, Ashay, right? Awesome. I had the opportunity to go fishing on the ocean for the first time, and was able to catch. We're catching mackerel, and there's a few other species, but those are I caught my first mackerel in salty water. I've only ever fished in lakes, so that was really exciting, and I got to kind of relive our fish anatomy when we had to gut the fish, and was able to go through all of that. Okay, who else has got a little post in here? We need Olivia and Ashay.
Okay, there we go. Mine's in. It
Okay.
could probably have been more elaborated on, but I put in as much as possible.
Okay, so Ashay's in the brainstorming period, maybe looking at a fish project or herbarium.
Yeah, for the fish one, I'd love to do. I was really excited about doing like a creative video, but then wanted to add in something sort of more scientific to it since I did the creative option for the other thing. So to add in something about like, okay, what's going to happen if all the fish are gone, or like some like information about that, but in a fun way.
Cool.
Or I just kind of want to go and explore trees and take pictures of them and press them and learn about them. So.
Yeah, I was hoping a few of you guys would jump back into the herbarium because I think it's a fantastic tool for your identification and like field work component.
Yeah, well, I know my dad always is like he does a lot of stuff with wood, and so it's cool because he can tell wood by just looking at it, like wood without the tree. Like we go down to the beach, so that would be kind of cool to add in there, like how to identify the the wood itself without the tree, the leaves or whatever.
And that's very hard, right? Because a lot of us like really rely on the leaves and their placement to tell us what kind of tree
Well,
it is.
exactly. But he goes by smell and by how it looks and how it sounds when you tap on it, or
Knowing
how
whether
it's hard.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Those are
There's
great
a lot
ideas.
of trees around here, so I thought, why not embrace the fact that I have trees and not sun instead of get mad at them?
Okay, Olivia, you're the last but not least. Are you still with us?
Sorry, I'm working on it. I just had to go grab a cord because my laptop was almost dying, so I got a bit behind. But I'm like actually just about to submit it.
Okay.
Better?
So while Olivia's finishing her submission, everyone, I want you over in the agenda again. And it seems natural for the next thing that we talk about is just a little bit more details about this final portfolio. And I want to come up with the assessment with you guys. And last week, it was Halima and Anna who popped in for a few minutes, and we chatted about a little bit about the assessment. So we started creating a marking guide for the final portfolio to sort of help us understand how much we need to add to it and what sorts of things, what the different categories are in which I will be assessing this piece of work for you. So I want us all in there now, and nothing is set in stone. I want to hear your ideas. I want you guys to kind of move things around a little bit. And I want you to walk away from today feeling really clear about that, right? Because we talk a lot about this course that we want assessment to be really transparent. And I tried to put that in all of the projects. So this one is no different. So we'll do a little chat about assessment next.
So the rubric that you put, it's in last week's one?
It's just in the agenda. It's just the tape right here. There's only 4 categories right now that we came up with. But these are all up for interpretation, and we can elaborate on them as well. So maybe we want to go like this, insert column to the right, and we can start to kind of plug in, what does this mean? You know, what are some examples? You know, what does complete mean? Does it mean doubling the work of the first project? Or does it mean, you know, like how are we going to define completion?
Yeah.
So start thinking about that and throwing some ideas in there.
I think for creative, in my opinion, it'd be adding something that wasn't necessarily in the assignment to do, but something that you're passionate about or had an idea, and adding your own sort of like, not twist on it, but just an aspect that got you excited or something.
Yeah, but like, I see what you mean there. Instead of adding, just like doing more of the same thing,
Yeah.
put in something that is not part of
Something
what was asked.
Came up with an idea and you're like, oh, that's cool, I can add that, or something like that. Yeah.
Was not originally.
I think basically just something that wasn't in the like written assignment that says like, this is what you need to include, like in the like 24 little doodle, 12 big images, like you added something else in there that wasn't in the criteria.
Okay, so what does that sound so far?
The next level of
I'm typing away.
But
So sharing something additional that was not originally asked and that shows your interest in the project. Like it's like, so your passion or your interest kind of shines through a bit
yeah.
in the top.
Usually disagree with me, by the way, I don't mind.
Okay, I like that for creativity. That kind of jumps into the original personalized kind of column that we had. So we might need to change this one now, eh? What's another category you guys think would be important to pull in? I'm going to add here.
O'Shea and Brim left.
Oh, they got kicked. Here they come.
Sarah,
Yeah.
it's not letting me post it. Like, I tried to post it a couple minutes ago and it deleted everything. And now I'm trying to post it again, and I copied it this time, so I still have it, but it did the
Oh,
same thing.
no, Olivia. Are you logged in?
I should be.
Double
Well, I
check,
should-
because this happened to Bryn last week as well.
She posted it. I can see it.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, it's there.
I wonder if it's the original one.
oh
or
yeah, it
it's
went through
the
my side as well. You're good, Olivia.
Maybe it's just frozen. It's refreshing.
So I'll share. Olivia was thinking of going back to the ecosystem photo tour. Oh, you guys are all doing different projects. This is really cool. That was the first project in the course, maybe researching the plants that have been here for thousands of years, or the plants that were brought in or introduced by humans. Understanding First Nations use of plants. Trying to find some rare plants to press. Nice, Olivia, that's a really, really great idea as well.
Okay, that was the second one too that I submitted. Just checked.
Awesome. Okay, so now we can put all of our efforts into this rubric / marking guide that we're creating. And I'm adding to the fourth one right now. Under the shared key learning and related it to the big ideas, I'm adding as well that I want you to, of course, expand your biological knowledge of the subject matter. And I want you to be adding in, like expanding your vocabulary as well. So that you're not just, looking at something from a new angle and trying to be creative with how you present it, but you're actually like really dissecting the content of that project and introducing yourself to some new terms and getting familiar with a few new areas. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you guys feel like you need any specifics there? Like, do you want to challenge each other to say, like, expand your vocabulary by?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, or just suggestions, like to put in brackets, expanded vocabulary, or like, yeah, or you're putting it in there.
But do you want like numbers, like if learn 2 new words, or
Sure.
familiarize yourself with 1 new concept?
I think 2 new words is a good number.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of fun.
Can always be more.
That might be
Gives a good.
That's the invitation. And we'll say one new concept, because that would be like similar to a new key learning, right? Okay. So then how are we, this is a big one, and I don't necessarily have the answer to it. I'm looking to you guys to assist me here. How are we going to assess whether it's complete?
I would just say if it feels like it comes to a close, I guess, and is like nicely polished and finished. We don't want loose ends and random stuff.
I think as long as it seems, like a complete project, you can go through it from start and find a finish.
Okay,
And I think it's okay.
so it tells a good story.
Yeah, have a cohesive presentation of it within your project.
Okay.
And I think just try and make it look like nice, like, yeah, just present it well.
And then we can have more categories than 4. I don't know about this fourth one that I wrote in here, original and personalized. I think that's kind of goes into the same ideas of creative, don't you guys?
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
could put original, personalized, and creative all in the same block.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what are we missing? It feels like we're still missing something.
Would we do something on presentation?
Kind of incomplete,
Yeah,
though.
that almost wasn't the completion of it though, because that's like the whole.
Having it done. You present it. How about like had fun? Nope. Okay.
What about, like,
Okay. Nobody but me
risk?
had a ton of fun.
I mean, that's been, like, in a lot of other assessments I've seen. It's kind of like creative, but kind of like creative risk.
Ooh, so how did you say it at first?
I just like risk, as in, like,
Okay.
did you take a challenge or did you stay within the safe boundaries?
Okay, what do you guys think about that?
I like it.
That could be good. Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's kind of like the being creative, but just
Go outside of comfort zone.
going outside of your comfort zone. Don't just sort of stick within the parameters of the project and just sort of dabble over the edges. Really just like jump full force into the fun.
Into the fun. So what do you want to call that as a group? And you guys can type into this document as well. What do we want to call that category? So we have creative, original, personalized. So this one is almost, I don't know if risk is the right word.
Endeavor.
Endeavor.
Maybe not.
It doesn't really work on its own.
Creative endeavor. Daring endeavor.
Daring endeavor.
I like that. Oh, word.
That's great.
I like that.
It makes us adventurers. We're about the adventure.
Good. Clearly explored new territory. In this project. And had some fun along the way.
Yeah.
That good?
Sounds good.
I like it.
Okay. So now for the grading. These do not have to be equal categories. And in my mind, I'm kind of seeing one category that as your science teacher, I want to give a few more marks to. Can you guys figure out which category that might be?
Complete.
Yeah.
I would say that shared learnings.
Yeah, I want to push you in the shared key learning category. So all the other ones are really important as well, but for me, the purpose of this final portfolio is for you to expand your biological knowledge. I want you to expand it on your own without me now having to direct you to exactly where you're going to learn things, right? And I think that's one of the beauties in these portfolio-based courses that we're trying to bring into Self-Design High is that, you know, I get to kind of hold your hand throughout the course, but as we get closer to the end, I just back right away. And suddenly, look at you guys go, right? You're all finding these projects that you're really passionate about, and you can't wait to explore more details in them. So I feel like maybe we should give a little bit more credit to this third category.
Yeah, I would say put it, yeah. And then, I mean, there's things like maybe the complete and the daring endeavor don't have to have as large of a percent out of the
Okay.
whole.
Please do out of 10, and I'll translate that into a percentage. So maybe this will be 5. It's almost half of the project in my mind.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that, or would you rather it 4?
4.
Okay, 4. Where are we gonna scatter the other ones then? Are
Okay, so
gonna
we
get
have
2, 2, 2?
3 other. Why not? Or
Yeah.
maybe. No. Yeah, 2, 2, 2.
Thoughts from others of you guys who haven't spoken or shared your views? Are you guys happy with this?
222 totally works.
That sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
Happy.
Category, description.
I'm just trying to make you talk.
Awesome.
Heard when you're talking.
Okay. Transparent assessment strategy complete. Nice work, everyone. So as you start to move forward from your brainstorming you just did into the creation of your project, come back into this agenda and remind yourself of some of the categories that we're going to be looking at when we're in our exit interview together. And you are going to play a part in this assessment. Don't worry, it's not just me. So in the exit interview, it's one-on-one. We will chat about this. Okay? I want you a part of the conversation. So keep that in mind as you guys move forward.
Cool.
Questions about that piece?
Nope.
With you. All right. Well, I believe we have some presentations today. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have some volunteers that want to do a little bit of sharing? This is a continuation from a few weeks ago.
Yep, I'm up for that.
Yes. All right. Well, why don't you take the lead then, Bryn?
What? You should have. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Okay.
So,
We're just
Bryn,
dealing with
you share
Chrome
your
issues.
if you need to.
It's coming.
or
It's coming.
Shout at us. Okay. All right.
What? Yeah.
Okay, so scrolling is backwards. So
Yeah.
I have to remember. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, and just a reminder that if you guys click down on a Shay's name, it makes that screen the main one, even as the rest of us talk. Looks good, Bryn?
Okay, so my objective for my objective for this project was trying to attract different types of birds because we have this bird feeder in the backyard running all winter, and we only get a few kinds of birds at it, and so I made this thing, which is
Ooh.
a
Yeah, I was just gonna say a suet feeder. My dad used to be really into suet feeders.
Yeah, so my stepdad helped me make that. We drilled holes in a log and hung it in a tree and stuffed it with some lamb fat that I rendered down from what we had left over in the freezer. I just found a suet recipe online, some peanut butter, some birdseed, and some melted fat. Let it harden and just stuffed it in the holes there. Here's a bit of the process of me making the suet. It was pretty gross. All that fat was bad, and it smelled really bad too.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah, so but it was pretty simple to make. All of it didn't take too long.
So you actually put it in. So I've never seen this method before. I see most people kind of like put it in a block you know, like kind of put it out frozen, and it's in a block, but like fine mesh, like wire kind of hanger, and then you hang it in that.
Yeah.
But this is a piece of wood.
This is a piece of wood. I thought it looked cool.
Okay. And you drilled into it and made it hollow.
Yes, you got the drill here, drilling holes, and then just stuff that in there. It's going the wrong way. And the location. Here's my authentic thing. You can't see my face, but that is me.
All right.
And this little thingy right there is the suet feeder, and it's pretty close to the house, but it's just a few feet away from the other feeder. And yeah, so the results were I didn't get any new birds at my suet feeder. The only thing that I got were the dark-eyed junco and the chestnut-back chickadee. We ran out of regular bird seed, and so they decided to go over to the suet feeder and started picking out the seeds from the suet.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were not touching the fat. But here's the original feeder over the 3 days, and I checked it out twice a day. You can see we had 17 and 6 and 2 and 0. So there's more dark-eyed juncos for sure. They're chickadees. There's only a few chickadees, and they do like feeding a lot more in the mornings.
Oh, that's so fascinating. And then what was your observing period? You said 9:30, but was it like 5 minutes or?
I just hung out for like 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the suet feeder.
Oh,
So
the didn't even go for it.
yeah, no. And they were, like I said, they were just eating seeds. And this drop off right here is because we got more bird seed.
Okay.
So they were back at this is the suet feeder here. This is the
Yeah.
original feeder. And here is a picture of, you can see this is seeds and peanut butter sunk to the bottom of the fat and a bit on top.
Oh, yeah.
And in the middle here is all fat, and this is seeds, and you can see they're just picking away from it there.
Wow.
That was a chunk that we decided to stick on the feeder just because later. And this is just some information about dark-eyed juncos and chestnut-back chickadees. And that is my discussion.
Cool.
I have not edited. This is not ready to submit, so I still have work to do.
Okay.
But the birds were now going to your other feeder too, though, right? What did your mom said something this morning?
Yeah, I got a message from my mom saying that there's, well, I could read it actually really quickly.
New birds.
Stuff's been happening while I've been gone, apparently.
Live updates.
The chickadees are really liking the suet now. And there is a flicker that's been coming and eating the suet for the past 2 days.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
So why do you think the flicker wasn't there earlier?
So the idea that I had and that I put in my discussion is that it was too short of a time.
Yeah.
Like we put new food out there and watched it for 3 days, and I think it would have been nice to put it out like a week. Put it out and then wait a week and then observe it for 3 days.
For sure.
Yeah, I didn't really end up seeing things that much. So.
But you're gonna leave it out now. So now you're
Oh yeah, no, it's
enjoy
staying out until we run out of fat.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. And did other family members know, like, did they help you with your bird identification, or were you teaching your family about the birds?
We know what juncos and chickadees are.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What about the flicker?
What about the flicker? Yeah, I know what flickers look like too, but I haven't seen the flicker. My mom knows what a flicker is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys come from outdoorsy families, so
Yeah.
you have the the luxury of already usually knowing a lot about identification.
Yeah, we know our birds, local ones, pretty well.
Well, that's great. Well, I'm glad that it was a fair bit of success, and I think it's just going to continue flourishing as the other birds discover that it's there. That's great.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to seeing over time if I can get new stuff too.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Bryn. All right, who would like to follow Bryn's presentation?
You said Anna as well, but Anna did present.
Just me.
Anna did present, so it's just Olivia then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember, after I wrote that, I remember trying to go back into the document and change it, but I guess I didn't. So it's just Olivia. Okay, Olivia, do you want to turn your camera on?
Jack.
My camera? You mean share screens?
Workout stuff.
Yeah, well, if your camera's not on right now, we just see flowers, which are beautiful, but we'd love to see your face for a second as well, if you have the ability to do that.
Okay.
And then, once we make sure it's really you behind that camera doing the presentation, then you can share your screen and get started.
Okay.
It's her.
No, this isn't. Oh, shoot. It's not quite at the beginning.
Fish dissection.
Yeah.
Oh, and you did a mackerel.
Yeah, that was the only fish I could find. And there were a lot of things in the fish that I actually couldn't find. Like the outside looked pretty normal, but then the inside, like I couldn't find the swim bladder. He's all like, "Oh, it's just a swim bladder." I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, it's like I see the area where it should be, but it's all kind of goo, and I didn't cut through it or anything, but like it was pretty. I don't know. I could see the kidney.
It is much harder, especially if the fish wasn't just recently killed. Because you're right, things do start to like become a little bit more liquidy and gooey.
Oh yeah, that actually makes
That
sense.
is your pictures though. So don't feel like you have to kind of word for word go through it, but just kind of give us the general story of what you went through here and what you learned.
Pardon?
Don't feel like you have to go word for word, but sum up sort of the general story of what you went through for the project and what you're walking away with, what you learned.
Just a sec. There's another person. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so fish dissection. Fish dissection. Well, you can see the date and the name, and I obviously didn't take that picture, but so I figured the objective of my project would be to dissect the fish, that being a mackerel, and to learn more about it from dissecting it, like, you know. And so the methods, I just used general safety precaution. I wore gloves. I didn't, like, you know, try and stab myself or anything and stuff. And then equipment, so I had to defrost the fish, and I wasn't quite sure how to do that, but apparently you just put it in a bowl of water and then it defrosts. I was worried I'd like cut into it and it would still be frozen, but it was pretty straightforward. And then I used a chopping board and well, my laptop and stuff like that, latex gloves, and Yeah. Oh, and small scissors. I just use it. Actually, doesn't really matter too much what scissors you use, just as long as it's okay. Just as long as it's sharp enough and stuff and kind of small. It's important that it's small because otherwise you might cut into the fish kidney and liver and stuff. And so I just got it from a grocery store. They're not like a fish market or anything, but I was lucky enough to find that they had bags of mackerel and also sardines there, which is just in my local town. And for the dissection method, I used this video. I didn't actually see the other video, and I was going to add notes on how I dissected it. Let's see, I'll just look at here. I can explain. So I started cutting right by the I forget what word he used, but it was like kind of to the right of the anus, and I just cut along its belly until I stopped by the operculum, and then I cut across the lateral line up to the operculum again, and then I cut from the anus to the lateral line and the operculum to the belly, near the fish's head to the operculum. And then you kind of just gotta really carefully tear the fish open to, yeah. And, okay, so the operculum is basically, it's a gill cover because they're really fragile and stuff, so it has to protect the gills. That's really all it does. And sometimes, like when the water goes through the fish's mouth, when stuff goes in the fish's mouth, either food and it just goes to its stomach, but then there's also water, which would often just go through the fish's mouth and through the operculum and out. And most fish have paired fins to help it maneuver and stabilize. And the anus/urogenital opening is just for bodily fluids and whatnot to come out. And the caudal fin is used for propulsion, so that's right at the end. And the fish's tail goes back and forth instead of up and down like a regular animal, like mammal. And there's a faint line on the top of the fish, and that's called the lateral line, and it's used for vibration, and it's on both sides of the fish. Nearing the end of my presentation, all I could find was there's the kidney, and over by the very bottom of the fish is something that may or may not be an intestine, and then that, I didn't label it, but that white lumpy thing is quite possibly the stomach, but it could be something else. And so far that's everything, but I do intend to write more about which each object does and whatnot. But that's what I have so far. That's it.
Wow, Olivia.
Yeah.
Is that your first time dissecting a fish?
Yeah, pretty much.
Any suggestions from you guys as to what that last organ was that she was pointing at?
It was the stomach.
It looked like a stomach.
Yeah.
Is the liver on there? Okay. Also, there's you can't really see it, and I was gonna take a picture of it, but under like right next to the intestine, if you like kind of dig around a little bit, there's like this little grayish black thing, and that I believe is the liver.
Very cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. Well, good for you, and that's great that you're able to find a fish, because I know lots of your classmates here were not able to find a whole fish at the store. So that's fun. I look forward to seeing the rest of your labeling and then receiving that from
Yeah, I
you.
heard like fish they have to be gutted because otherwise it's like toxic to the fish or something. Not sure if that's true.
Cool. Thanks, Olivia.
Good job.
Fantastic. And then, okay, last week we go. And we had everyone else present.
Yeah.
All right. Well, pretty good timing here. Thank you for sharing. I love seeing what you guys are working on. It's so fun to do these little mini presentations a few times in the course. And it really, one of my favorite parts of it is that it helps me to understand what areas of interest each of you are kind of holding on to in the course. Because I know there were some projects for a few of you guys that you just glazed over. There's other projects you really honed in on and you really wanted to, you know, look at that. So I know I can speak for all of us that we appreciate hearing your passion and your interest in these specific areas. So moving forward then, we are wrapping up our group meeting here. And you can stop sharing your screen there, Olivia. Yes, perfect. Yeah, Biology 11 Big Ideas Workshop is coming to a close, sadly. But I've heard some really good feedback from a bunch of you guys already about, I mean, throughout the course we talked about how fun it was, but there's been a few emails. And I wanted to put the invitation out there that since this is a pilot project, it's the first time we've run this course, it would be amazing if you felt like you wanted to write a testimonial to encourage other learners to take this course, or just to advertise, you know, why Big Ideas courses are awesome. So it could be a general one just about the structure of Big Ideas courses, workshops, or it could be specific to Biology 11. But either of those, if you feel like taking a few minutes and writing that up, just email it to me. I would so appreciate it, and I can share that with our website designer and put it right up on the website beside the course offering. And I think that would help my vision of the high school, that I really want to get more students in these courses and get more people learning in this really hands-on environment and sharing all of our discussions and debates and findings with each other, because that's an awesome addition to online high school, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'd be totally happy to do that.
for sure. Me too.
Thank you so much. And there's really no rush to that, but I figure, you know, the sooner the better, because it's fresh for you guys right now. So yeah, if you could take some time, I'd just be so grateful. And move ahead. As I mentioned, the next step here is for you guys to kind of wrap up some of the remaining pieces, make sure that you have submitted everything that you need to into the Moodle course. And once your final portfolio piece is finished, add that into the Moodle course as well. Then we meet for our exit interview. So I need to have everything ready and submitted to me. And I need at least a couple days to be able to make sure it's all, you know, that has been looked at by me before we have our exit interview to get the most out of that meeting that's one-on-one. So if you think that next Wednesday can happen, put your name down beside one of these times I have listed. And why don't we say, so that's Wednesday, February 1st. I'll put the date there. Then I could also just grab these same times. So Halima and Anna so far have written their names down. Why don't the two of you go into Google Calendar and invite me into a half-hour meeting? So that we get that just taken care of right now. Can Halima and Anna, you guys get started on that? And then I'm thinking I'll offer as well, for those of you that are wanting a little extension, why don't we just put these same times on for that following Wednesday, which is going to be the 8th.
Yes, please.
Perfect. I'll just open up my calendar and make sure I'm not double booking myself. So on the 1st, that's open, and the 8th is open as well. Cool. So again, put your name down just so we don't double book each other. And then once your name is there and I give you the go-ahead, so Ashay and Olivia, right now you both have a go-ahead. Go into your Google Calendar and invite me into that meeting, okay? And then we're just missing Bryn, and it looks like Bryn is now in for 10:30. Okay, and then Bryn, if you can invite me into that meeting through Google Calendar, then we'll have all of that sorted. All right.
We're gonna see.
Well, it has been a blast hanging out with all of you guys on a fairly weekly basis. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that you all kind of jumped into the deep end with me and tried out this brand new course. There's lots of kinks along the way, but also lots of really wonderful and exciting moments. So thanks for being a part of it.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yes, thank you so much for facilitating this course. It's amazing.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yay. You're welcome. It's been my pleasure. Okay, well, please reach out to me if you have questions about any of the stuff we chatted about today, especially as you guys work on this final piece of the course. And I look forward to putting in final thoughts on assessment into Moodle for each of you over the next week and a bit, and then having these wonderful exit interviews. Oh no, that's perfect. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you guys during our exit interview time. And if you need to reach out before then, do not hesitate to. All right.
I'm sad that this course is over.
Me too.
I know.
Oh, another one next year.
It's like we're saying goodbye. I'm like, okay, we're meeting next week. I'm like, wait, we're not meeting next week.
No, but I will put it forward. I mean, I will even write it. That if we get the go ahead for the biology 12 course, I really think that
because I'm taking
would be a
bio
good
12
offering.
anyway, and I would love to take it as a big ideas workshop.
Oh my gosh, it's a big course. It'd be so much more fun to do in a workshop setting than
Yeah.
the Moodle course. Biology 12 is all about, it's human anatomy, right? So I think there's 10 topics in the course, and they're all divided into different biological systems within our bodies. So, we study the nervous system, we study the circulatory system, we study the lymphatic system. And you guys get like really, really in depth into the functioning of all those systems, and like it's so cool. I feel like we should all have to take this course because it's relevant. It's how we are able to move around all day and do all these great things. It's because we have these like brilliant multiple brains helping our, there's, in my opinion, like a brain within each of the systems, right? That's like really the center of that system. And then within every one of our cells, right? That mitochondria, that powerhouse within every cell that's keeping things really, really active. But yeah, it's such a fun course. It's big, but if we could do it in a workshop setting, I think would be just rad. So I'm pushing for that, and you guys just stay tuned.
Question: are we going to be able to share our final portfolio things with each other? Because that would be really cool to get to see what we each do.
Yeah.
Did we make a
If
plan?
you guys want to, let's throw it away.
Yeah, I think we should do
That would
that.
be awesome. How would you guys want to do that? Would you want to just send a link to
Yeah, I
a
think
doc,
when you're
or
done,
put it
send a link.
I think, if you're done, put it in
Put it
the chat box.
in
In the Google chat box.
Yeah.
What was that, Anna?
I said,
Anna said put it in the
you can
chat
put it
box.
in the Gmail chat box.
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Just put a link into the Gmail chat box and say, hey, here's my project. Take a look.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And it's optional. If you don't want to share, you do not have to. But I think that's a really lovely idea.
Yeah.
And then you guys get to learn a little bit more about all those areas too, right?
For sure.
The learning never stops. Okay. I'm going to stop